Continue our meeting now. Chairperson's report. This is about a recommendation to seek from the Township Board to place a millage request on the November 2013 ballot. We did have some discussions about this. Any thoughts or motions about the millage request?
Well, you need a motion. Ethel, you want to?
Okie dokie.
Ethel, do you have a motion?
Alrighty, I recommend to the Township Board to support a millage request from the Recreation Department of a 0.40 mills on the November 2013 ballot.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Ann. Okay. All right, any discussion from the commission?
Well, I think we need to bring
We
up
need to
that,
tell what's for.
it's been, 26 years?
Correct, 26 years at 0.5 mils.
It's been, 26 years at 0.5 mils, and there is many things that have grown in the 26 years that we have taken over as a township for recreation for all of the people in the community. We have the expansion of Centennial Farm. We have a golf course that we are running through a volunteer organization, but there's old equipment in there. And we lost our gang mowers this year. We tried to use them, but this will be a last year for gang mower. And if you take a look at the repairs and the things that need to be done for the marina, and we've inherited the soccer fields and football fields and baseball fields. We've inherited the
Road end.
the park down at Road End at Parkway, and so these things hopefully are things we've gotten from the community telling us that these are the kinds of things that they would like, and I think we're basically as the economy has gone kind of south in the last 26 years, but it's starting to come back. But the costs of maintenance, the cost of repairs, the cost of equipment, all of those things have gone sky high. And so we, frankly, I would hate to see us start cutting back on what we offer our community as far as recreation. And I know that we're not the only community that is hurting for dollars, but I think it's a wise move, and that's my comment.
All right, any other discussion? Anything from the public? All right, bring it back then. On Ethel's motion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. All right, next one is the recommendation about to reprogram our community development block grant budgets of 2010, 2011, and 2012. Do I have a motion for that?
Yes.
What is it?
Motion to recommend the Grosse Ile Township Board seek approval from the Wayne County Community Development Division for the following budget amendment to the 2010, 11, and 12 Community Development Block Grant Program years.
Second?
Second.
All right, Bill. All right, any discussions about this? This is basically the reprogramming of monies that we've already had lined up but weren't spent by us. If we do not spend it, another Wayne County community will spend it. We've already got basically the green light that we will be appropriated this money. So this is basically just to let the Township Board know that the specific projects of what we have in mind for ADA improvements. Any other discussions?
What about the announcement of the meeting?
Anything from the public? All right, bringing it back. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes.
Walter, don't you need to announce about the meeting?
And announce what for the meeting?
This one, public hearing.
Oh, do you have that? Could you do that? You have the date on it right there?
Yeah.
The public hearing, please?
Yes, there will be a public hearing on this on August the 12th, 2013, at 7:30 PM here in the boardroom at the Township Hall. That's for the community.
All right, thank you, Ethel. All right, so that's that. Now, Recreation Director's report, Tim is, he's not present today. Old business, any old business? Does anybody have any old business? I only have one item, and that'd be the naming of the road end. Has anyone, we had, I think I sent out some emails a month ago or something like that, but I got some proposals of naming the road end. Has anyone had anyone else heard anything else about what they want to name it?
No.
No?
No.
Did anyone like some of those? I mean, I got a few responses. There was one that we did like, I think.
Oh, didn't we like Depot Landing? That was a good one,
Something like that.
something like that.
We gotta have a name for that road end. So,
Is
public, I ask you to submit some ideas.
Is that something we have to propose to the board?
Correct.
Okay, so we want to do that by next meeting?
I'd like to give them a name or something of what we
Yeah.
think.
Okay. Well, if the public's paying attention, maybe they come up with some names and,
Historical Society gave me some choices and stuff. I think they gave us like 3 choices. I think one was an Indian name, right, and stuff like that. So,
Potawatomi Landing.
something there was related to the, who was it related to? Someone on the island, I forget now. Forget it, sorry, I even brought it up.
Well, Potawatomi Indians were quite prevalent here in the
Right.
community as the Wyandots and all the rest of them, but
All right, so let's try to handle that, put that to bed the next month. Any other old business? All right, any new business? Any new business? We only got one new business, I guess. We got to introduce Mr. Will Stewart. He is our high school liaison. Will, we'd like to say hello to everybody. Welcome aboard.
Oh, thank you. Happy to be aboard.
Island or something
All
like
right, thank you. Any other new
They're all
business?
at home.
All right, moving on.
Where are we now?
Subcommittee updates. Township Board Liaison Milvesto, got any updates for the commission?
No, the only thing is that, as I mentioned at the Township Board meeting, there's going to be some parking lot maintenance down at the north end of the marina, and hopefully that will take place next week as planned. And that would be it for me.
All right, thank you, sir. Any questions for Tom?
I have a question. I don't know if Tom can answer it.
All right, we got Ethel.
On the bike path between, on Horse Mill, between Thoroughfare and Meridian, I drove down there last Sunday and half of it's underwater. Are they planning to raise it somewhat before they pave it?
I do know that in conversation with Charlie Campo, the gravel fill was taken out of the original, out of the approved bid for that job. But as he has been able to, he's been getting millings from the Fort Street Road project. It's not costing him any money, and he's trying to use those millings to fill those areas in. But he's fighting. It's an almost hopeless battle with all the rains we've had. But they are doing what they can with the millings off the roads, and at this point in time, that's all that's planned.
All right, thank you. Any more questions for Tom?
Thank you.
All right, Open Space Greenways Committee, Shelkey, she's excused. Golf Committee update, Moreau. Any updates for the commission?
yes, I'd like to just mention that, as you're all aware, we've had the craziest weather I can remember in a long time. I remember 2 years ago it was either raining or hot, and this year I think it's even worse. So those of you who are golfers, please see what you can do to make up your rounds of golf and get your name on the card so you keep your averages up. But along with the proposal we're going to make to the Township Board on millage, as I indicated earlier, and we've had, I think, 5 or 6 water main breaks on the golf course that we've had to repair this year, which is a high for us. We also have, as I may have mentioned earlier, we have a lot of aging equipment. We bought that beautiful tractor that we got 3 years ago, and it's worked beautiful, and not tractor, but lawnmower. But it's very difficult to keep up with the grass cutting without the gang mower. And even though the gang mower wasn't working perfectly, we were able to help us keep the golf course up. And as you know, it rains, grass grows, so then we have to catch up and make sure we don't have wads of grass all over. So if you can help us at all physically or with suggestions or just rounds of golf, please come on down and play that golf course. It's actually, when it's dry enough to use, it's a good course. The course is in nice shape. Thank you.
Any questions for Bill?
Just Bill, keep the fairways cut, because that's where I hit the ball.
Well, look at him. Look at him. I'm trying to get the rough cut.
All right, moving on. Marina Swales, any update for the commission?
Yes, briefly, just trying to represent as a liaison 60 or so people that keep their boats in our marina. I try to talk to as many as I can. In the past month, I have heard a few requests. We need more security, especially at night. Visiting boats to our marina, the Sharkies that come in late at night, a little loud, a little rambunctious. So I'm going to ask Commissioner Rooney if he'd reach out to the Chief of Police to request more police patrol in the marina area, especially in the evenings during the weekends. Also for Recreation Director Rooney, I wanted to ask if that young man he hired, Tim, is actually working at the dock collecting the daily dock fees. I have not seen him, but I just want to give Tim the opportunity to respond to that. We do need that person down there collecting the daily fees.
There's something in the paper.
Also, another note for Tim, a couple of my marina patrons have asked to keep the porta potties clean or cleaner. I know we had some big events this summer that filled them up, but that's important to the marina members that those porta potties are maintained and cleaned, which they normally are. Also on my notes, briefly talked about fees for the kayak users, and we're not going to talk about that tonight, but we know that's on the agenda for the future. I also want to thank the marina members who volunteered their time in June to set up the new no-wake buoys at the south end of the marina.
Good.
In June, Dock Master Bob Lang, Jim Allen, and some of our other patrons took their time and some of their expenditure and hard work in their boats and placed those no-wake buoys at the south end of the marina, and they have significantly reduced the speed of the boats coming up the river, so they did work.
Good.
Finally, you're talking about all the rain and the golf courses. As you know, the drains from the golf courses drain right into the river at the south end of the marina. That water is full of nutrients and fertilizers, and the weeds are growing like crazy. They're actually choking the marina entry from the south end. Last year, Recreation Director Rooney got us a weed whacker that one of our marina patrons used to cull all those weeds. So I'm going to ask him again if he could somehow get that back from whoever at Wayne County has it. We really need it. You can't run a boat through the south end. You couldn't run a kayak or a canoe either. So I'm going to ask Tim if he can figure out a way to get that back at the marina. We really need to get those weeds cut like we did last summer. Mr. Chairman, that's my report.
Any questions for Mike?
I just want to make a statement that with this block grant that we've been working on, there is some serious consideration and monies that would be applied to putting in non-motorized vessel launch. And so that will be taken, as I understand, as part of this proposal to the Township Board. And I want to assure everybody that we are continuing to work on making sure that over at Water's Edge, we have the ability to launch safely and with due caution kayaks and canoes and non-motorized vessels.
Very good. Any other questions for Mike? All right, thanks, Mike. Centennial Farm, Woodward Ryan, she's excused. Airport Recreation Area, Myring's excused. Senior Citizens, Ms. Ethel Yops. Anything for the commission?
Yes, sir. At Monday's board meeting, the township approved to continue in Grosse Ile, be a part of the Senior Alliance for 2014 to 2016. The Senior Alliance is a nonprofit organization designated as the area agency for the 34 communities of western and southern Wayne County. They have specialists to help seniors with almost everything that they need. And the telephone numbers are 734-722-2830 or 1-800-815-1112 or www.aaic.org. Also, senior blood pressure for anyone on the island that would like to have it is done at the Centennial Farm at the Rec Building on the second Tuesday of every month from 10:45 a.m. to 12 noon. And then I have a couple of concerns that have to do with this new millage. The Recreation Department van needs replacing. It's a disgrace to Grosse Ile. The funding by grants is not available, and grant funds currently received cannot in any part be used for the new van. This van with a wheelchair lift is used weekdays for transportation services for residents who are senior citizens, low income, or disabled, essential errands, and for those who do not own a vehicle or are unable to drive due to medical reasons. And then Mr. Rooney's 11-year-old computer could use updating. I commend Tim for his patience with all the work he does with his aging equipment. And that's it.
Thank you, Ethel. Any questions for Ethel? All right, thanks, Ethel. Schools and Senior Olympics. Mr. Conroy, you got anything for the commission?
Yes, I'd like to welcome again Will Stewart. He is a junior coming up this year, and we discussed about what type of ideas that we'd like the youth to represent on the commission, as well as manpower for setting up programs and actually doing some of the programs. And Will, go ahead and say a few words if you will.
All right. Well, since I'm also a part of the student council, I'll be able to, on our Facebook page, communicate with some of the people and see if there's a standing committee I could get together. And I'm sure there'll be a good group of people who will be willing to help out throughout the whole year too. So, and I'll also mention this activity coming up on, you said the 28th, 2 to 4, setting up.
Correct. You done? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, and what he's speaking about is this Sunday is the setup day for the Senior Olympics. And the Senior Olympics are going to happen beginning Monday the 29th, and it will last until the 2nd. Activities ranging from baking to euchre to ping pong to bocce ball. And it'll be centered in E-Course, where there'll be a parade of cities, and a breakfast on Monday morning, followed by some of the events. And like I said, they'll continue all week. We are hosting pickleball on Grosse Ile at Water's Edge, and we will also have tennis at the tennis center. We've got at least 20 folks from Grosse Ile participating. Come one, come all, and support us. And also, I want to thank again Tim and his amazing staff for all the work they do. And that's all I've got.
All right, any questions for John or Will? And Will, you got quite the radio voice.
Thank you.
Yeah, he does.
I get that a lot.
All right, thank you, John. Will? All right, Playscape and Parkway. Ann, got anything for the commission?
I have nothing on the playscape for this month, but for the East River Road ending, there is the berm was installed at the top of the hill to make it so it's not such a drop off, and then gives people a little who are pulling in there, gives them a kind of a parking, a delineation for parking. So that's been done, and other than that, that's it.
Anything about the bike rack?
No, I haven't heard anything.
And there's that one, there's thinking about putting the bike rack right by the stairs where that hole is by that tree. Are we still got that hole right there? Or
You know-
did that
you know
berm
what?
fix that?
I have not been over there. I just drove by there, saw
Okay.
the berm had been installed. I know they were looking at the bike rack was supposed to be installed sometime this month.
Okay.
What we did talk about was maybe installing possibly some grading or something, but nothing has been decided on.
I know there was other talks about trying to find a boulder around the island too or something like that,
Just
right?
something to make it so that there's not that drop, because you have the stairs and the tree, and they want to put a bike rack, but you need something to kind of anchor the bike rack and make it so that there's
Okay.
that drop off there.
All right. Any questions for Ann? All right.
I do.
Sure, yes.
It's really not a question, Ann, but just for public knowledge, we continue to experience vandalism at the Playscape off of Macomb. It's a burden to the rec department to continue to go in there and maintain it. It detracts from usage by the residents who'd like to take their young children back there. So I would ask everybody concerned if just let it be known that we can't continue to do this. We can't continue to spend money to repair these acts of vandalism. And I'm not asking that anybody turn anybody in, but please
Would be nice.
pass it on that we'd appreciate it if it would stop. And it would make Ann's job much easier, it'd make Tim's job much easier, and again, it would open it up to more usage by young families and their children. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Tom. All right. Extended public comment. Any public comment? What do you got, Kathy? Name and address, please.
Walker, 26051 Thorpe Court. I'm here to mention that I followed up per Mr. Swale's request on getting the marina to have Wi-Fi. Ted has been repeatedly calling Cygnus. We have not heard back, but we will continue on. He did tell me that he felt that Sharky's Wi-Fi went all the way out to the marina. I have not tested it yet, but I said, to be competitive, you should have this. People pay a lot of money for footage. Everybody's got Wi-Fi. So we will keep pursuing it. I didn't want you to think we had forgotten.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I was real pleased when you suggested.
Oh, you've got to be competitive. So I just want to let you know that's
Great.
being worked on. All right, thank you. And don't forget, kayaking Tuesday nights, 6 o'clock, we kayak. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Kathy. All right. Any other extended public comment? Tim? All right. Individual commissioner comments. Tom, anything more you want to add?
No, Walt.
Ethel?
Just one thing. For those people that have been wondering about the shrubs that needed to be removed, the dead ones in front of the recreation building on the farm, they've been removed, and they're getting ready to do new plantings and make it look nice again.
Yep. Thank you, Ethel. Ann, anything extra? Anything more?
Yes. I saw an interesting thing in the paper today. The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile will be appearing at our local Kroger this Sunday from noon until 4.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I read it today's paper, yes. It's part of the 50th anniversary of our Kroger here on Grosse Ile, kind of a special promotion thing.
Yeah, if you haven't been looking at the paper, Kroger's has got a whole bunch of activities and things going on, and one of the things is this Oscar Mayer mobile going to be there, and there's going to be quite a bit of promotional stuff. It has to do with their
50th anniversary.
50th anniversary of Kroger's, and just another side note
It's
on
been here for 50 years.
Another side note on Kroger's is they support our community and our nonprofit organizations on the community every time we ask. So support Kroger's, and it'll be a fun time to go down and see that.
And it's when? Sunday? When?
This coming Sunday, which will be the July 28th, between noon and 4.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, it's your turn.
I just thinking to myself, not only does Kroger's support the community, but so does Nate's. So let's, and Nate has a lot of specialty items, so let's don't forget Nate's Market because they do also support in every way the community. I just didn't want to not mention them.
Okay. John, any additional comments?
There's an event Saturday at Yak Arena, a health expo from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., and I don't believe there's any charge to get in, and there'll be all sorts of tests that can be run and exhibits, et cetera, for continued better health. That's all.
All right, thanks. Will, any additional comments?
Nope.
All right, thank you. Mike, any additional comments?
I just wanted to say that I did receive a nice thank you from the members of the West River Yacht and Cruising Club who used our marina facility for their annual member appreciation a few Saturdays ago. They were really pleased that Tim was able to get the tables down. The club sent up the tent, but Tim had our people bring the picnic tables down, so they did want to say thank you and wanted to let you know.
Great. All right, my comment is please volunteer in your community. Everyone needs you. With that, I need a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
I need a second. Mike, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 9:45. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening. 8:45. 8:45.